I think we should start now. Priya, you're there?
Yeah, Soumya.
Hi. Welcome, everyone. I will just start with the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
So, welcome, everyone. I'm Soumya, and I'll be your host for this session. So, before starting, I would request everyone to go on mute. And if you will have any questions throughout the session, you can either send them through the chat bot or you can unmute and ask. So, let me introduce you to Tech Canvas first. So, Tech Canvas is an IT certification training organization for professionals wherein we help students to crack their certification exams in first attempt. Being an authorized training center for IIBA Canada and ASQI Germany, we conduct all the IIBA certification courses like ECBA, CCBA, CBAP, CBDA, and we also train people for Agile Analysis certification. And we are also authorized training partner of Project Management Institute, PMI, for all the project management certifications. We also have domain courses into banking, finance, healthcare, and many more. So today we will be discussing on cracking CBDA, what's the smarter approach, and we have with us Priya. So Priya is a certified IIBA business data analyst and Tableau desktop specialist. She is a senior data analyst with diversified professional experience of 10 plus years in business intelligence within MNC, the public sector with Teach for India, and curriculum development with the lead school. So I welcome Priya and request her to take the session ahead from here. And welcome everyone. Hope you all have a wonderful session. Over to you, Priya.
Thank you so much, Soumya. So, a warm welcome to everyone for joining this session. So, let us look at the broad areas of this webinar, right? So, now in order to look at how to crack this certification from IIBA, we will first learn more about this certification. So, what is this certification about? What is the cost? What are the knowledge areas covered? How do we go about recertification and many other things? And we will also have a short quiz after this. Then we will understand the need for this certification. So why should you go for it? And we will finish off by looking at the smarter approach on cracking this certification successfully. Also, along the way, we will hear our Techcanyons, Tech Canvas alumni, share their experiences. So I hope you enjoyed this session. And yeah, let's get started. So our first part is, what is this certification about? So there is a huge gap between business understanding and data analytics, right? So after extensive research, IIBA introduced this certification in 2019, recognizing the need for skilled business analysts so that they can lead data analytics projects. So data professionals like data analysts or data scientists, they may not have an in-depth knowledge of the business domain. So to ensure that data analysis is carried out in line with the business needs, we need a business data analyst, right? A professional who knows both business and basic analytics. So they can support both the sides. So this certification basically certifies that you have the skills and competencies required to perform business analysis on analytics initiatives, meaning you can handle end-to-end analytics projects. You will lead the transformation of your organization and the decision-making process to be based on the data proof instead of just relying on, what feels right. So basically, we are transforming from intuition-based decision-making to data-driven decision-making. So what are some of the competencies that you will gain? So you will learn more about business data analytics. How is it executed in the industry? Different techniques for formulating research questions, which form the basis of starting off with any business problem. So you will learn about a lot of different techniques. Data analytics cycle. How does analytics work in a business framework? Data driven decision making. So we have all heard these terms, right? Data driven and decision making. But how exactly do we go about, implementing this in our organizations or in our projects? Then we will learn about data analysis, just the basics. We won't have in-depth data analysis required for this certification or even this role as a business data analyst. Interpreting analytical results. So once we have some data patterns from the data, we have analyzed the data. How are we interpreting these results so that they can be useful for the organization? Data visualization and reporting. So these are some of the competencies that you will gain from this certification. Let us look at some basic certification information. So the certification is divided across 6 knowledge areas or domains. We will be covering or looking at all of these areas in a short while. But we have coverage for each domain and the number of questions. So total questions are 75. So basically, you can't skip any domain. You will have to prepare for all the domains or the knowledge areas. Right? What is the certification cost? So you can either be an IIBA member and give this certification, or even if you're not going for membership, then also you can give this certification. But if you look at the difference here for a member and non-member exam fee and the annual membership fees, right? So this annual membership fees is almost covered here. If you're not becoming a member, you almost have to pay that, right? But I would say that if you become a member, you get a lot of other, things from IIBA as well, like a lot of access to a lot of resources, networking, and a lot of other benefits. So yeah, you can check out the membership benefits from IIBA's website. Also, you have a recertification fee, which is after 1 year, right? So more on recertification. So basically, the recertification program supports the ongoing professional development of certified professionals. So it is done to encourage continuous professional development, learning, and the efforts to give back to the profession. So it offers a standard and objective mechanism for recording professional development activities. And it also sustains the global recognition and value of the designation. So basically, you will have to earn a minimum of 20 CDUs, and there's a list given by IIBA. So you can log your hours into the BA development log, pay the recertification fee, and submit the application. So more details about these CDU activities can be found out from the recertification guide provided by IIBA. So IIBA has defined these 5 practice domains for successfully implementing business data analytics activities. And these domains, all of this is based on research with different organizations, right? So now studying the enormous amount of data that is getting generated today, it can be very daunting. But specific techniques, competencies, and practices of business data analytics can be very beneficial. So we have 5 different practice domains: identify research questions, source data, analyze data, interpret and report data, and use results to influence decision making. So this is an iterative process. So you can go back to a particular domain if you feel more, information or any changes are required. So let us understand each domain to, get a gist of what it means to work as a business data analyst. So the first step of identifying the business problem or opportunity, it provides the goal for the analytics initiative. Right? What exactly are we trying to achieve? The business data analyst plays a vital role in understanding the current organizational capabilities, like whether the organization can undertake the initiative. Do we have the required resources? Also, the business data analyst creates the vision for the desired outcome, right? What outcome are we looking for? Such as maybe, reducing customer churn, maybe. And finally, formulating the research questions or the problem statements that will be solved using analytics with stakeholder collaboration. So, for like example, like we already said, right, predicting and preventing customer churn, or will customer engagement improve by introducing new promotions, and like other such questions or initiatives. So, our first step is to identify what exactly is our goal. Moving on, the second stage is sourcing data or collecting and identifying data suitable for the business goal, which was defined in the earlier step. So, this is one of the most critical and I would say time consuming step, because correct and good quality data is quite mandatory for accurate analysis. And keeping in mind the huge volumes, making sure your data is clean and is of good quality is quite time consuming. But yeah, the more time you spend on this stage, the better will be your results. So both business and data experts are required for this task. And at this stage, the business data analyst collaborates with the data scientist and brings in the business perspective to what data sources are required. Looks at the cost and benefit analysis or the non-functional requirements like data privacy, security, etc. So, for example, say collecting customer demographics, products, sales, or promotions data from multiple sources, depending on the business goal that you're trying to solve, and merging them into one source for data analysis. So now once we have our data ready with us, next stage is analyzing that data. So the data scientists do the actual analysis of data at this stage. A business data analyst is not going to do a data scientist's work, right? But does all the groundwork before the analysis, as well as after the data scientist provides the insights. So the business data analyst has an important role and provides the business perspective for preparing and say analyzing the data, assessing the data models, because here data scientists may not have the full business background, right? So a business data analyst brings in that important business perspective of what data variables are required or what features have to be generated, how are we assessing our data models, and so on. Also, we don't want to do data analysis blindly, right? But periodically check that the analysis is going in the direction which is aligned to solving the problems that matter to the business. So business data analyst also assesses the analytical results from the lens of the business goals. So once we have the insights from data, these results, which are given by the data scientist, have to be communicated to the decision makers or business stakeholders, right? But these results are very technical for them, and it becomes very difficult for business stakeholders to understand or grasp these results. So the business data analyst plays an extremely important role here of translating the analytical output into the business language. And they use data visualization, data storytelling, and other different techniques for doing this. The business data analyst also identifies, understands, and plans all stakeholder communications which are required. Now, in this stage, the use results to influence decision-making stage, the business data analyst presents the data insights in a way that will equip the decision makers to come up with business decisions, right? Because that is our end goal. The proposed changes are drafted in a transition plan along with, how much time, effort, cost is required to implement these changes. The estimates are given. Also, the business data analyst identifies and mitigates factors that may result in resistance to implementing these changes. After all the approvals, the business data analyst leads the change management process, which might be across departments and processes. Right? So quite a varied role a business data analyst is playing across all domains. So these are the 5 practice domains, and the 6th one is at the organizational level, right? Guide organizational business analytics strategy. So here we look at 3 different important factors. The organizational analytics models, wherein we decide what model the organization should follow, like maybe centralized or decentralized models. The talent pool required to carry out analytics initiatives in the organization. We build on our analytics team, design our analytics team structure. And lastly, the data strategy, wherein how we understand how data is going to be handled in our organization. The data quality, data cleaning methods, data security, architecture, and so on. Right? So I wanted to lay down a general understanding of what you will be doing as a business data analyst and the multiple and exciting things that you will be doing. So also, like, don't just take my word, but let me introduce Aniket Joshi, a Techcanyons alumni. We congratulate him on his promotion from a business analyst to a data analytics product owner after getting certified. So he shares how the CBDA techniques are helping him in this role. So basically, another thing is in this meeting, you will not be able to hear the audio. So I have created subtitles for you, as well as we will be posting the links for this video on the chat, in the chat box. So you can take a minute to, just look at this video. You can use the password provided as well, as the videos are password protected. And otherwise, I will also be playing this video here. You can glance through the subtitles here to understand the gist. Right? So I'll just start this video. Let's hear what Aniket Joshi says. Okay. So this was Aniket Joshi sharing about how CBDA techniques are helping him in his role. So yeah, let's move on. So there's a short quiz here. I mean, you can unmute your speaker and you can just tell me where these options will form. So these are the 6 domains that we just discussed. So what do you think? Use data storytelling. In which domain will it fall? Identify research questions or source data, analyze data, interpret and report results, or use results to influence decision making or guide organizational business analytics strategy. Or you can even put your answers in your chat box for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 domain number. Or you can just unmute and tell me. Okay, 5. Okay. Edmund says it's 5. All right. Let's check. So it goes in interpret and report results. So where you're reporting the results to the stakeholders. Next one is analyzing the skills required to make the organization data driven. Where do you think this will go? Any general idea, general guesses? Okay, Manish says it's 6. All right, let's check. Absolutely right. Yes, it's 6, wherein we are talking about guiding organizational business analytics strategy. Next is understand data from the business lens. Where do you think this will go? Okay, Manish says it's 3. Let's check. Okay, so actually it will go in sourcing data, right? Because here, first, when we are trying to get data, we first have to understand it from the business lens. Data analysis is where we are actually working with the data, building models and doing the actual analysis. Okay, thank you, Manish. So let's move on to the next one, vision of the desired outcome. Where do you think this will go? We are creating a vision of the outcome. Okay, Tom says it's 1. Let's check. Yes, absolutely right, Tom. It will go when we are identifying the research questions. Next is provide business context for data preparation. Manish says it's 3. Anyone else? Okay. So here we are preparing the data, right? So it will go under source data because data has to be prepared before it is analyzed. Yes, and lastly, propose actionable insights. Manish says it's 5, and absolutely right, it's 5. Great. So thank you for your participation, and I hope you enjoyed this small quiz. So moving on, let us understand why you should go for this certification, right? So basically, business. Let's look at these two legs: business analysis and data analytics, right? So business analysis, it involves understanding enterprise problems or goals, managing stakeholder communications, facilitating informed decision making, right? And on the other hand, data analytics is focused only on pure data analytics to find data patterns, data trends, and predictions. So as you can see, there is a gap between business analysis focusing on the business side and data analytics focusing purely on analytics, right? So business data analytics is kind of a bridge between bringing in the business perspective to data analytics. So now the new age business data analysts, they fill the gap between business and the actual data analysis or the mathematical statistical models, basically which makes such data initiatives successful, right? So an important bridge between business analysis and data analytics. Now, let's take a look at why this role has a bright future. So this is from IIBA's Data Analytics Summary Report of 2021. And it stated that 2.8 times higher project failures when business data analysis professionals are not leading the key data analytics practices, right? So it's quite a high percentage of project failures that we are looking at, right? Because as you can also see, the business data analysts are bridging a gap, right? If they are not there, this role is not there. There's a lot of gap in between what the business wants and what we should do using data. So the business data analytics role is a must in the organizations. That is the first reason. Second, by 2022, 85% of the companies will have adopted big data analytics. So again, more and more organizations are turning towards data-driven decision making. You will find many such examples also, like Uber, Amazon, YouTube, Adidas, Spotify, Marriott, Starbucks, Tesla, and there are so many more who are using data, analytics to such a huge extent, and it has been so much more profitable for them and so much more useful. The decision making has been transformed. So, IIBA conducted a survey in 2021 with more than 4,000 professionals from 165 countries and from across levels with different number of experiences, education levels, and so on. So basically, these results cover a wide range of business analysts. So take a look at the percentages. They're quite impressive, right? So the demand shows a rising trend as more and more organizations go towards data-driven decision making. More and more skilled professionals would be required. Now let's meet our next alumni, Gin Ann, and see how business data analytics knowledge is actually helping her in her role. So we congratulate Gin Ann on getting promoted from a Salesforce data analyst to a business data analyst. So let's hear, or you can find the link in the chat box, or you can read on what she's saying here. Great. All right. So moving on. A business data analyst, right, has knowledge and expertise in the end-to-end business analytics cycle, has an impressive mix of business and data analysis skills, is a key contributor to all the steps of the business analytics cycle. So basically, you get to collaborate, engage, negotiate, coordinate, strategize, and I would say so much more as well. So you put on many different hats at the same time in one role. You work on the people, organizational, as well as the technical aspects, right? So definitely, I would say it's an exciting role. So now let's quickly understand why we are talking so much about certification. Right? So in my point of view, a certification is a formal way of upskilling and understanding the best practices or standard processes in the industry. So certification from reputed organizations, they definitely allow you to get shortlisted for an interview. And it gives confidence to the employers that this candidate genuinely has the mentioned skills. It gives you also a purpose, a formal goal to achieve something instead of just working on skill development. Obviously, certification will not guarantee a job, but it guarantees you an opportunity to showcase your skills and expertise. You get that chance for getting shortlisted for an interview, right? You get that opportunity to showcase your skills. And certifications definitely pave the way for higher confidence, salary rise, and promotions. Some statistics from IIBA's 2021 Global State of Business Analysis Survey, which we discussed earlier as well. So I would say the certification is definitely very beneficial. Let's listen to Femina, Techcanyons alumni, who is a business development strategist And he shares how CBDA has helped him grow in his career. So you can find the link in the chat box, as well as I will start the video here. So this was the Femina. Okay, let's move on. Sorry. Okay. So now let's take a look at what is the smarter approach to cracking CBDA, right? So first of all, let's understand. Let's get a gist of the exam overview. So this exam is weighted across the 6 domains, and you need to pass in all the domains to earn the certification. And this exam basically tests your ability to answer questions focused on real world scenarios. And the exam consists of 75 multiple choice scenario based questions to be completed in 2 hours. Now, no formal prerequisite is needed to attempt the exam, and the exam is offered via remote online proctoring. You're not allowed any breaks in between. And once you schedule your exam, you will receive a confirmation notice via email with the exam logistics. Right? So there are no specific questions on machine learning or big data or any kind of programming as such. Basic understanding of data analytics and statistics is good enough. So we have Aniket Joshi here. So he's answering the question, can people without any analytics background learn and gain from this certification, right? So again, you can find the link in the chat box. I will also start the video here. So that was Aniket Joshi sharing his understanding and his experience. So let us look at the preparation strategy. So IIBA has published a study guide for the certification covering all the 6 domains with a lot of case studies as well. but just reading through the guide can be very overwhelming. So, an in-depth, understanding of the concepts, the techniques, and I would say the case studies from a subject matter expert who has industry knowledge makes a big difference. Also, we saw that the questions are scenario based, right? And they can be quite tricky. So, just reading or memorizing the guide will not help, but you need to be able to apply those principles and techniques to the scenarios in the questions, and that too in a limited time, right? So, you should be very, very clear. Along with practice for the scenario based questions, time management is also essential. So I would say mock tests play a very crucial role in the preparation because they are timed tests, so you get your hands-on practice on answering those questions in the limited given amount of time. Again, lots and lots of practice is necessary. The more questions you solve, the more experience you get by looking at the questions, the more easily you can solve those questions in the timed and I would say a little stressed exam environment. So this basically prepares you. Some things that I feel are important. So before the exam, right? I would say that practice as many timed mock tests as you can. They definitely play a very big role. Read the reference articles given by IIBA. They give you a lot of extra information, and it just does not prepare you for the certification, but to become a good business data analyst. Prepare a schedule. Different mind maps and cheat sheets for last minute preparation are quite helpful. And during the exam, understand the scenario and read options carefully, right? Because two options might be confusing many times. A smart estimation is required as there's no negative marking. So flag questions which you are not sure of and go back to those questions once you finish all the other questions. And look at time management. That is also an important aspect. Some tips. And this is the last video from Femina. He shares his preparation strategy. So let's listen to what he says. Link in the chat box, and I will start the video here as well. So that was Femina sharing his preparation strategy. So, like we have many valuable resources to help you in your journey towards becoming a certified business data analyst. So you can check out our YouTube channel, blogs, and LinkedIn page for some fantastic resources. One important thing is that we at Techcanyons mentor business analysts to grow in their careers and achieve their goals, and not just to pass the certification, but be able to work as a business data analyst in the industry. Right? So our CBDA training program is systematically designed beyond the IIBA guide with a lot of other study materials as well. So we have the domain and competency matrix, different study guides, reference library, training by an industry expert. We have 500 plus mock scenario-based questions with explanations with a performance report. We have different drills, puzzles, and flashcards, and study plan and mind maps, as Femina mentioned. So, I would recommend you to explore these resources if you are planning to go for the certification. And some more exciting news, we at Techcanyons are offering some discounts, so you can check more for details on the website. So I will open this session now for any questions that we have. You can either unmute and yeah.
So, how different? What is the difference between your training for a BA versus this data? This is what you have told us throughout. It is going to be a amalgamation of bit of both, right?
Yes. So, like if you consider ECBA, right, which is the basic business analysis training, that is going to equip you to become a business analyst in the organizations. But CBDA is this training will make you will help you understand how a business analyst can work in data analytics projects, right? So working in data analytics projects, the work done is not very similar to other projects that we are working on. They need a different set of competencies, techniques, or the way you handle things in our data analytics projects are quite different. So
my question, I understand that this is going to be more data driven, and so in that context, are these part of the Tableau, Power BI, and all those tools are as well as forecasting kind of things? Are they going to be part of this curriculum? If you can throw some light on that.
Yeah. So So the training will not involve Tableau, Power BI, or other analytical, techniques in depth. But definitely, we will be covering different models and analytical models in the training and introduction to those models. And we have Tableau and Power BI courses separately designed, right, which you can take up as a combo with this course. That's there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Tom. Sorry, Tom, I can't hear you. You can just type your question on the chat box.
I put the comment earlier.
No, we can't. I still can't hear you. Okay, till then we'll take up Archana's question. What are techniques involved in it, right? Yeah, so there are a lot of business analysis as well as data analytics techniques. To name a few, data analytics techniques like exploratory data analysis, basic understanding of machine learning algorithms, or data storytelling, 3-minute story. These are some of the data analytics related techniques. Some of the business analytics related techniques are organizational model, process model, scope modeling, or business model canvas, and all of these techniques. So there are numerous techniques involved, which will definitely, all of those techniques will be covered in the course. Yeah, Tom is saying that his earlier comment regarding price drop for CBDA. Okay, all right, Tom, I will have to check that. Right? What exactly is it? Yeah, I will have to check that. I'm not very sure about the drop in price, but we can check back and get back to you on this.
Uh, Hello, this is Priyanka here. So, see, just have a question like if somebody has done like ECBA, CCBA, or CBAP, then you mean to say this certification will add them to for the as you are mentioning again and again, business analytics in data, business data analyst. You mean to say it's add on the career part or qualification part for the BA.
Yes, I would definitely say that this is an add-on, right? Because along with other certifications that you mentioned, they are definitely there. But this certification is an add-on to those, because along with those skills, you will now implement those skills in data analytics projects, right? So add on to those IIBA certifications that you already have. Yeah. Yeah, Archana is asking a question. Can you explain about hands-on practice or project? So yeah, regarding hands-on, I would say that if you are like completely new to data, right? So I would say that don't be afraid. Just pick up any data set. Many data sets are freely available online, right? Just go to Kaggle or any other data source site and pick up any data set. And even if you don't know any other Excel or any other tools, simply use Excel and try exploring that data. You can build up charts, see what insights you can come up with. So we have a data analysis using Excel course for this as well. You can check that out. But I would say that get your hands dirty in data. If you know Tableau, Power BI very well, that's good. You can explore different data sets here, right? And once you get an idea about like handling data, take a look at simple machine learning algorithms and get an understanding, I would say. And if you are working as a business analyst or a data analyst, explore how business data analytics projects are being implemented in your organization. Understand the different projects that are going on, what problems they are tackling. See if you can get some experience. Talk to those people, I would say. Shiva Subramaniam says, is this course self-paced or instructor-based training? So yeah, right now this is a self-paced course. We do have aided learning sessions as well. So you can check out more about these two options on our website. That will give you more information.
We have an assisted learning session. Sorry, Shiva, we have an assisted learning session also. So basically, it's a self-paced and a assisted learning training, and every Saturday for 1 hour it will be like an assisted learning as well.
Yeah, we have a question from Manish. How the IIBA application process works for CBDA. So yeah, as I mentioned, no prerequisites are required, or you don't need to log any professional development hours for registering for the certification. You can simply go on the website and start off your application process. Once you pay the fees, you just have to agree to the code of conduct, and you can schedule your date for the certification. So no other additional form filling has to be done. Yeah, Uma says whom do we contact? So we have this information here, right? So you can contact Brijesh. You can email or call him on this number. Yeah, Manish is asking, is there a guide as well, like Babok for CBDA? Yes, IIBA has published a special guide for CBDA covering all the 6 domains. So yes, we do have a guide.
Do we have any more questions? Anyone?
Okay, Manish is asking standard time required to prepare. Again, I mean, generally, if you are only working on or studying only on weekends, I would say 2 to 2.5 months would prepare you for the certification. But if you have more time, definitely you can finish off much earlier as well. But yeah, definitely, I would say spend more time on practicing and understanding the concepts, not just reading or going through the guide, but actually understanding. So I would say approximately 2.5 to 3 months if you're working only on the weekends. Yeah, Archana, if you don't have any knowledge, can we join it? Definitely, you must have heard Aniket Joshi talk about people who don't have any kind of analytics, data analytics experience. Will they benefit and will they be able to pass the certification and can they join this course? So, definitely, I would say yes. We have had people with no data analytics background and who have cleared the certification, so we will be covering all the basics required, not just from the certification point of view, but to enable you to start working as a business data analyst. So definitely, I would say that don't be afraid. Even if you don't have any background, you can definitely go for it. Thanks, Manish, for appreciating the session. And I really hope everybody enjoyed the session and hearing from our tech canyons as well. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the preparation time, right? I would say if you are only studying on weekends, around 2.5 to 3 months should prepare you for the certification.
Okay.